In the top stories, a call for a primary school swimming program to counter the threat of tsunamis. Reports of another successful Agrofest. And West Indies arrive in Perth for their battle against India. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, March 2nd, 2015. I am Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
As Barbados steps up its earthquake and tsunami preparedness, Director of the Department of Emergency Management, Judy Thomas, wants to see a national swimming program in primary schools. Speaking during the launch of the Tsunami and Earthquake Smart Month of activities on Monday, she said the time had come for a comprehensive awareness program and swimming classes had to be included. Ms. Thomas also said a protocol governing disaster procedures should soon be presented to Cabinet. Barbados began undertaking a tsunami program in 2005. Minister of Tourism Richard Seeley says Barbados is on its way to having high tourist arrivals year-round. His comments come against the backdrop of a strong showing for the first 2 months of the winter season.
It's been good so far. I'm looking forward to see how we can sustain it going into the shoulder period. The real test is going to be at the end of the winter, and I suppose summer. Well, we had some very strong summers recently. Movement around Crop Festival and schools on vacation and so on. We really now need to see how best we can ensure that this recent surge that we are seeing, we want to transpose it into something that can be seen year-round and not during the winter season. We want Barbados' tourism product to have no seasons at all.
Mr. Seeley was speaking as he toured Agrofest over the weekend. Meantime, CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, said there was more interest in the 3-day exhibition this year, with increased participation from both livestock and produce farmers. However, he said the volume of imported produce would be reduced next year. Mr. Paul also wants to see more tourists attending the event. The Royal Barbados Police Force has been fending off heavy criticism over the extensive resources employed over the weekend in the search for Karen Harris. The 49-year-old woman disappeared while jogging not far from her Rowan's Park, St. George home on Friday evening. She was found 24 hours later. Critics have been contending that race and class played a role in the massive turnout of resources, which included the Barbados Red Cross, Crime Stoppers, the Police Force's Special Services Unit, and the Barbados Defence Force. However, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police, David Welch, says the large team was justified because of the size of the area that had to be covered. In addition, he says the force's responses are always based on the information and intelligence gathered in each case. A fire in Bridgetown destroyed a home on Sunday morning and caused heavy damage to 2 businesses. A Crumpton Street building occupied by W. Roach Commercial Business Machines Limited, a wall and timber home, and a metal workshop were razed around 10:45. The buildings were unoccupied at the time of the blaze. The Barbados Association of Retired Persons has joined forces with the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados and the Barbados Diabetes Foundation. The 3 organizations have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at educating Barbadians, especially members of BARP, about the management and prevention of non-communicable diseases. Chairman of BARP's Health Committee, Dr. Elizabeth Ferdinand, spoke about the partnership.
It is expected that this MOU will help each of the organizations to fulfill their mandates more effectively, efficiently, and to avoid duplication. In this way, the members will benefit from extended services at hopefully a cheaper cost. As said earlier, this is a new initiative and partnerships which can only be beneficial to all concerned. I welcome it and look forward to continually improving it and strengthening the relationships between the different entities.
Over the weekend, missionary organization Uplift Africa mounted a display in Jubilee Gardens, the city, to mark the end of Black History Month. Barbadian mission manager in Malawi, Winston Griffith, said the display of African garb and craft was aimed at educating the public about the group's work.
We have been going to Malawi for the last 15 years. Primarily we do evangelism, but we also work with the brethren. We have mobile medical clinics, and then we involve with empowering the women with sewing classes, and also we sponsor 2 schools in Malawi. This school for those children who don't normally go to school, especially those in the rural areas, and we seek to empower them so that they can learn their language, write their own language, and also do English.
In sport, West Indies have arrived to a warm welcome in Perth, Australia, ahead of Friday's World Cup match against India. Several hundred well-wishers from the Caribbean turned out to greet the team as they were hosted to a home-away-from-home event at the Perth Cultural Centre on Sunday. So far, the team has won 2 matches and lost 2. Chairman of selectors Clive Lloyd has been speaking about the team's chances against India.
We've been pretty successful here over the years, and I hope it doesn't stop on Friday. It will be a good game. India's always been, pretty good opponents, and they've been playing well. We've been sort of sporadic in our play, but we're hoping that this pitch will suit us quite well, and should be quite an exciting game.
And finally, a man in Lincoln, Nebraska has been cited for having marijuana inside a container that bore a label reading, "Not weed." According to reports, officers stopped the man's vehicle around 9 p.m. on Saturday and found the plastic sour cream container during a search of his car. The man acknowledged that the drugs belonged to him. He was arrested on suspicion of drunken driving and cited for having less than 1 ounce of marijuana. And that's Nation News from Monday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thanks for joining us.